I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Link's Awakening has been out for a very short while, and as a coincidence, that's the exact amount of time people need before they start breaking the developer's hard work. This video is going to go over glitches, tricks, and exploits in Link's Awakening and how to do them. Also, these tricks were mainly found by the speedrunning community. There's been a lot of work put into finding and exploiting these glitches. In the description, I'll be linking credit to those who discovered them and worked on them. By getting out of bounds, you can explore part of the world that Miyamoto would probably shake his fist at. Here's how to prove Link's Earth is flat and jump off the world. So to start off, you're going to want to find this ladder at the southern part of the map by the animal village. Now, in order to perform this trick, you will need the Roc's Feather and bombs equipped. Start by placing a bomb at the top part of the ladder. Have Link stand right outside the wood before placing it. Once it's placed, climb onto the ladder below and move slightly downwards. Then use Roc's Feather to jump up to the top of the ladder. You do not have to press any analog inputs after you jump up. And when the bomb explodes, it should clip you below. Once you clip below, you should feel like you're swimming. You can clip outside of the cliffside and explore the edges of the map. You can see exactly where that walrus landed. If you go too far, sometimes you can void off the swimmable plane and respawn. Thankfully, you do not lose any hearts if you void out this way, so you can keep exploring. And if you had enough fun, you can always reload an earlier save to be placed back on land. Another spot to explore is up in the mountains at this ladder. Follow the same steps before to clip in. Now once you actually get inside the mountain, move to the left and then you can jump onto the mountain in the background and start walking up towards the egg itself. At this point, you can now start a new rumor on the playground with the other kids that you managed to stand around the egg during recess. If instead you head towards the west, you can find yourself out in Narnia or the edge of the map. Navigating around the edges of the map requires some experimentation because often you'll void out. Oh, and you can get some weird camera angles if you load a save while clipped out of bounds. Now, there are some limitations to this method. You can clip on other ladders, but if you do so, on some other ladders you may void out due to there being no land or plane underneath to actually catch Link. So there are some other ways to clip out of bounds that will have Miyamoto shaking his other fist at. You will need the Rooster that you revive with a song that you learned from a frog. Yeah, just repeat that statement for a second to yourself and process what I just said. Okay, now that you accepted this game's strange premise, we can move on. Take that miracle of a bird and start to perform your own miracles by taking it to a staircase. With some finagling, if you throw the bird from a certain distance to the stairs, grab it, go to the top of the stairs and do a couple spins and just, move that control stick around a bit, you should be able to clip inside. Now, oftentimes you will void out using this method, but this method still needs more testing and exploration until we know of its true capacity. Now, what does a rooster, a ladder, and a feather have in common? Well, they all end with ER, but besides that, nothing relevant. They do, however, all help in the assistance of some strange interactions in this game. Start by moving the rooster with Link to the edge of a ladder. Now, with the feather you can jump off ever so slightly off the ladder, almost to the point where it looks like Link is floating above the ground. It may take a few short hops with the Roc's Feather in order to really get the right angle. If you grab the rooster from the state, you can clip into stairs, you can hover over the ledges, and yes, you can make it over to that hard piece. Air climbing, a trick that has massive potential to actually break the game. This trick allows you to climb an imaginary ladder and jump off of it to gain height. In order to perform this trick, you're going to do the exact same thing as before. Grab the rooster when you're slightly off the ladder. Tap forward lightly once, let the stick rest in neutral position, and then tap forward up again, and at that point you should be able to start climbing. And yeah, you're going to be able to get to places you really shouldn't be able to get to. Also, one important note about air climbing is that you shouldn't rush your movement too fast, otherwise you'll clip down below. Now, this next clip was discovered by Nolan. They found out if you air climb on the ladder to the right, land onto the ledge very precisely, walk around it towards the statue, and then do a diagonal jump into the statue, you can clip in and get the magnifying lens early. So what this means is you can essentially skip major part of the trade quest, including the hibiscus, letter, broom, hook, necklace, and scale, which saves a ton of time in this speedrun. But now, take that bomb clip and take that chicken with you. One very neat application is that you can actually skip a minor slice of the game by going onto this ladder on your way to Dungeon 7. If you bomb clip, grab the bird and start moving towards the right and a little bit upwards, there's a small slice of land underneath the map that allows Link to stand on. Link from here can effectively jump up into the loading zone, which skips a few tunnels Link would need to traverse through to go up to Dungeon 7. Now who says Link doesn't have hops? Well, he might not have the best, but he can still get up a little bit higher with some help from Crazy Tracy's special cream. Yep. At this spot, if you bomb yourself and die at the apex of your jump, Link's model will actually land on the upper ledge, allowing him to get revived at a higher area. As far as the uses and applications of this, well, there's potential to combine this with some other out-of-bounds tricks to possibly get up to a higher spot, upper loading zone, or clip somewhere else. If you hold B while holding an object above Link's head and fall off a ledge, that object becomes a little strange. It almost feels like the object itself gains the property of Link's sword. It deals damage to enemies that run into it, and makes some sword noises if you try to do the power holding twice in a row. Now, onto some more uncommon tricks. Now, I didn't know this upon my first playthrough, so it may help some of you. You can press X and Y at the same time when the bow and bombs are equipped to fire a stronger projectile. This does more damage from a distance, and it instantly explodes bombs as well too. Stealing. Well, thievery is back in this game from the original. Now, this is more common knowledge that you can steal from the shop, but there's a very quick way to steal from the shop in this game. What you're normally supposed to do is run around the shopkeeper until he loses line of sight, and so you can slip out with your goods. The quick method is to just run down straight forward, move the analog stick to the down right direction near the door, and leave the door on the right hand side. This way you can yoink what is not yours in a blink of an eye. Skewing is creating an angle that isn't natural to the theoretical natural directions you can face Link. North, south, east, west, northwest, etc. Now you can either use the feather or the shovel to accomplish this. If you tap the control stick slightly in a way that's not in the cardinal 8 directions while using the item itself, you can get Link to face in a skewed angle. If you charge up your sword, Link will maintain this angle, allowing you to keep it while moving around. Now, one use is that you can skip a key in this dungeon in particular to go straight to the boss door. There are some other uses in other dungeons as well to skip sections. Oh, and another quick trick, you can use the Pegasus boots alongside Rock's feather to create some interesting jumps. Now, a lot of these glitches are being explored and exploited by speedrunners, but who knows what they'll find within a week or the next hour, let's be real. Now that Miyamoto's hands have been both thoroughly shook, do you have glitches you found? If you do, I highly recommend posting it in the Link's Awakening speedrunning community channels. They'll probably really appreciate that. Alright, and enjoy breaking this game in half, because oh boy, there's a lot to do here.